Here's the thing, Soho Square in the West End of London. Look around, and what do you think? Dreary-looking office buildings full of secretaries bashing away at typewriters and more or less important-looking businessmen. But tucked away among the buildings is a real magic factory. Behind me is the headquarters of Richard Williams Animation, where they turn out some really marvellous cartoon films. So good, in fact, that Richard Williams has been called Britain's answer to Walt Disney. Now, that's a silly thing to say in a way, because we're all different, and nobody, least of all an artist, likes to be compared with anybody else. But in this case, comparison isn't unflattering. So let's go and have a chat with Richard Williams. Well, this is the heart, the very cosy heart, I would say, of the Richard Williams organisation. It's not where the real work is done, because this is just the office. Richard himself has just torn himself away from looking at the results of the work done in the studio yesterday, what we call the rushing, and he's just got a few minutes for it before he gets back to the drawing board, as they say. Richard, where did the story start for you? Was it a sort of interest in films, primarily, an interest in drawing, or one of those, or neither of those?
Interest in Snow White at the age of 5, and I went mad on it. And I was lucky enough that my mother was an illustrator, so she knew, and she had friends at Disney's.
A book illustrator, or cartoon?
Yes, a general commercial artist, fashion and books and stuff. So I realized that they were moving drawings, and they weren't rubber dolls or people dressed up or something. And I wanted to be an animator from age 5. And then I learned it by mail and by reading any books or articles they had on it, or say a program like this, if one had it then. Anything like that, you'd pick up, as a child, you'd pick up all the principles. And then I really sort of had it worked out by about 12 years old.
Where were you living then?
In Canada. I'm from Toronto. And then I gave it up. I lost interest when I was about 15. Oddly enough, after I'd been to Disney's on a visit, and I saw Rembrandt and lost all interest in animation. And then picked it up later, when I was 22. I came to London and started all over again.
The most exciting project right now, and for some time past, I suppose, is Nasrudin, your first full-length cartoon, and only about the third or fourth in this country as a whole. Why what's a short tradition of full-length cartoon making?
Well, the only place that's got a full tradition, a tradition of proper tradition is America.
Yeah.
And the only reason they have it is because of Walt Disney. And Disney, practically single-handed, built that industry.
What is the story of the film, loosely?
It's about a poor man called Nasrudin, who's a peasant and a simple fellow, very smart in a way, but he's basically very, very simple, and he gets they're terrible schemers, and the Grand Vizier, who's played by Vincent Price, who does the voice, and they're all corrupt, power-crazy maniacs, and there's a war between Persia and India, and to prevent the war, by a series of flukes, Nasrudin, the poor, tattered fellow, becomes the ambassador to prevent war, and then all the crooks try and stop him preventing war, and in the end he comes out on top. This is preliminary work. So, art director's sketches of the general look of Nasrudin, or the look of the film. And we'll be doing these paintings at the same time that we're working out the story line.
The colours are absolutely superb, aren't they?
Well, they're fading, because some of these are 4 years old.
We can't see our hero himself on here, can we?
Yes, he's in around here. This is where he goes into a garden, a sort of magical garden. And inside there's a princess and this terrible beast. And Nasrudin leaps in the garden and beats off drives the terrible beast away and presents himself as the savior to the princess. And she hits Nasrudin in the eye, calls for a guard, throws him out. And it turns out that she's in love with the beast.
Which is Vincent Price character.
This is the villain. Yes, this is Vincent Price. And rather like Disney's used George Sanders as the, what was it, Shere Khan, the tiger in the Jungle Book, we've got Vincent Price as our villain. And he will kind of look like Vincent Price.
It's great casting.
And he has a vulture, Brute, who also looks like him. And the vulture's the only one who will listen to him. Anyway, he's trying to take over the world, and no one in the world can stop him. No man in the world can stop him. And it turns out that Nasrudin, this poor peasant, stops him. Ah, you should see this one, because we're just started this new character who is a camel who laughs. All he does is wheeze throughout the film at the terrible accidents that are going on. And there's some animation on him upstairs. This is Chief Boozdill and the 40 Brigands. They're sort of Irish. They're supposed to be Persian. They've all got Irish voices. And they sit around in the desert. They've been marooned in the desert by Ali Baba 40 years before. And they can't remember even what a caravan is.
What about the story? Do you use a script or what?
Well, there is no script. I mean, as live-action actors need to work from a script. For an animated film, the script is this thing, which is called the storyboard, which is like a comic strip with stuff written under it, which is constantly, you change it, you paste it up and board, rip it in half. And it's very hard for people to realize. They're just, this is the script, and it goes on and on and on. It's about, God knows, there's about 30 big boards full of this stuff. So, if I just run through, this is one set, these are these brigands, Chief Boozdill and his brigands, in the middle of the desert. Yeah. And they're all sitting out, they have bone trees and they're bored and they don't know what they're doing. And they're all bleached out, they're all sepia colored because they're bleached out by the sun. And then you hear in the distance, a sort of a caravan, and the camera will go over here, and you see this Sergeant Hook running up, screaming a caravan. We're going to take his hook and put it on his foot instead. Anyway, he's screaming, a caravan, a caravan, a caravan, a caravan is coming. A real live caravan is coming. And he slides in like an American baseball player into his home base. And says, and grabs onto this bone tree, and all the bones fall down. And he screams, there's a caravan coming! And the vulture's skull drops on his head. And then all the other brigands say, oh yeah, sure, get off, come off it and cut around my eye. And he says, no, Chief Boozdill. This is Chief Boozdill. He says, a real live caravan is coming. And he says, a caravan? He says, and they all go, a caravan? A caravan? And they remember it. A caravan? And they say, horses! And they grab their bones and start riding around on each other. And jewels, and silver, gold, horses, gold, jewels, silver, gold, jewels. And then they're completely covered in dust. And then you hear a sort of dirty laugh, and one says, girls, or women, girls. And he starts combing his hair with the skull.